Yeah. Anyway, folks, I don't drive, but solidarity with my driver friends out there. Biden Buttigieg to tap infrastructure spending to promote speed cameras nationwide. Okay, folks, I want you on your own. If you're not watching, if you're listening or something, just bear with me. I'll read this in a second. But if you're watching, read the highlighted text. And I'm just going to sit here. And I'm going to sit here. And I'm going to think of how I'm going to be mad at this. Because I feel like I've been mad at every article that I've done today. And I got to think of a new way to get mad at this. Okay. DOT received $6 billion to issue grants. So in the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. So the BIF, folks. Now, $6 billion of this BIF was to, quote, help cities and towns. Help cities and towns. So we saw that Joe Biden went to Pittsburgh like last week, and a bridge collapsed, a major bridge collapsed as he was going to Pittsburgh, right? It turns out 100% of the bridges in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania also, are of seriously poor condition. So that's another thing. So, okay, so there's $6 billion in grants to help cities and towns. Now you're thinking, okay, so the bridges are crumbling, right? There's no such thing as clean water in this country. You might be thinking, oh, no, you're thinking of Flint, Michigan and not the rest of the country. Actually, the whole country. There is no clean water anywhere in this country. Look up your zip code and look it online. There's like a website, like I think it's like EWS or something, I think it is. Some water website. You can look up your zip code and they will tell you what the fuck's in your water. There is no clean water in this country anywhere. So, okay, help cities and towns. Maybe fix the clean water. Maybe lower electricity prices. You know, maybe I don't know, deal with that Texas power grid thing going on. You know, maybe add a couple extra stoplights or stop signs at some like really weird intersections where a couple people have gotten hit and run or like died in car accidents. Maybe. Now I know we're going to use the $6 billion that were earmarked to help cities and towns. We're going to use that for speed cameras. Cringe. I'm sorry. This is so fucking cringe. This is so cringe. I'm like dying of cringe. Like, I am not a driver. I've never driven a car in my life. But this is fucking cringe. The U.S. Department of Transportation's National Roadway Safety Strategy includes promoting the use of speed cameras in cities and towns as a proven safety countermeasure. DOT received $6 billion to issue grants to, quote, help cities and towns with road safety. Maybe fix the potholes? Maybe repave some of the roads? Nah, fuck that shit. Let's get some goddamn speed traps. Which is part of the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill that Congress passed. The law creates a new Safe Streets and Roads for All program, providing $6 billion to help cities and towns deliver new comprehensive safety strategies, as well as accelerate existing successful safety initiatives. Now, I have no problem with enforcing speeding. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that on a theoretical level. But my problem with it, as it's used in this society that we live in, is that really what that is it's a way to tax the poor. The rich don't end up having to pay these taxes, these speed traps, right? The poorer you are, the more likely it is that you're going to be driving around, going from job to job. The more likely it is you're going to be maybe a little tired. You shouldn't be on the road in the first place, let's be honest, but society forces you to be in these situations. You might be going over the speed limit, that kind of stuff, right? Let's just be honest, right? This is a tax on poor people. That's what this is. This is a way to tax people that don't need to be taxed. There's other ways to fix road safety besides speed traps. That's just a fact. Now, does that mean that there should be no speed limits anywhere? Absolutely not. I think that speed limits should be enforced in some capacity. But the way that they are enforced right now, as it's constructed, really ultimately boils down to a tax on poor people. It will not protect only. It will protect not only drivers but all road users, including people who walk, bike, or use a wheelchair. He added pedestrian fatalities and the second gentleman blah blah blah, blah have been increasingly. So okay, Buttigieg also said the strategy represent. Now again, if you want to have speed cameras everywhere in the country, okay, I want that to be on the last thing on the list that you do. I want to have clean water. I want to fix all the potholes. I want to repave all the roads. I want to add some extra stoplights, some extra stop signs. I'm going to do all that stuff before I fucking add speed traps to every fucking little fucking thing in this goddamn country. Under the plan, one of DOT's key departmental actions to enable safer speeds includes providing noteworthy practices for re-engineering roads to slow down vehicles rather than relying primarily on enforcement to manage speeding. Okay. The U.S. Department of Transportation is in the process of determining funding eligibility for these grants, which will be outlined in the upcoming blah, blah, blah. It's just, this is so embarrassing to me. Like, yes, speeding is a problem. Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that speeding is a problem. You would be foolish to deny that speeding is a problem. But, like, one of the problems with speeding, right, is, like, okay, let's assume, right, you speed and then you hit, like, a rock in the middle of the street and your car goes flinging into the fucking billboard. That's a problem that the fucking road, you know, the road should have fucking been better. I don't know, I'm just saying. You know, like, the infrastructure in this country is so fucking absolutely decimated. The idea that they're going to spend any percentage, let alone, like, you know, 4 to 5%. I guess of what is 0.4 to 5%. My bad. You know, like, that's a lot. Like, you know, on garbage, it's a lot. It's just, instead of fixing the water, giving fiber internet cable all across the country, especially in rural areas, fixing the USPS, fixing potholes, public transport infrastructure, you know, like, you know, high-speed railways. They're going to do speed traps before anything that's actually going to help people. That's just sad. It's sad.